Okay, so here we are at part 6 of learning Jeux. I'm delighted to say that this part is not going to be difficult to learn. There's a lot of repeated material, recycled material. So this part part 6 is gonna start here and it's going to end here, okay? So let's just take this part by part. So first of all, let's take a look at the left hand. You do have to be careful of these notes, but notice how I've respelled those two notes. That E sharp, I just made it F. The F double sharp, I just turned into a G. And then, you know, same thing on the way down, the opposite direction. There's the fingering, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is, I forgot to write this in. So it's actually 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Is this 5? Yeah, 5. Okay? And, you know, like I wrote over here, to simplify things, that's F, that's G, that's G, that's F. I also thought it would be helpful to say that all these notes here are white keys, okay? For the right hand, of course, there's 3 notes there, but there's only 1 finger number. That means that obviously 2 of them are played with 1 and 5. So I've only written out the specific inner finger. So this is 2, 3, 4, and you have to jump to this, which is why it's 2 again. Now here, these 2 chords here, even though they're now 16th notes, these 2 chords here are the same exact ones as these 2. So these are 8th notes, so they're just slower. And these are 16th notes, so they're just faster. So it's the same thing. This one you have to be a little careful of because it's specific. It's not the same thing as that, but it's almost the same thing. So you can just stay put. And then this right here is the same thing as that. So what you have is this. And then sort of the same thing, only a little faster. Oh yeah, and also more good news, that is the same thing as that. So 4, and then jump up to 2. Now, here's where the good news starts. Why am I crossing all that out? Is it because you shouldn't play it? Of course not. It's because you don't have to learn it, because it's the exact same thing as that. And this too. This is almost the same thing too, but I could even cross this and this out as well because it's the same thing as this. So these X's just mean you already know it and it's already been played somewhere very shortly before. So this is good news that I'm crossing these out. And then guess what? All of this can be crossed out because it's all the same. The octaves are just changing. Isn't that insane? It's really like the only thing you have to learn is this chunk. And, you know, this is a little bit more specific. Okay? So, let me play this hands separate and then hands together. Okay, so I'm gonna play that little section hands separate and hands together, so really focus on what's happening. Here's the right hand. Octave higher. Another octave higher. Hopefully you could see that. It's just octaves going up. Watch again. Octave higher. Another octave higher. Okay, and this left hand, you only have to learn it once. It keeps getting reused. So watch again. So it just keeps using the same thing over and over. Here's together. Maybe a little faster. So hope that makes sense. And I hope this makes sense, the fact that you really only have to learn this once because it keeps getting reused, just the octaves may change. And you only really have to learn this and this sort of, because that 2 and 4 is slightly different. All right. Okay, so now for the next section. These are basically, you're just playing that and that back and forth at the speed of 30-second notes. These are eighth notes, so you'll basically be playing 4 things in the right hand for every 1 thing in the left hand. But it's just this, it's the 1-3, and it's the 4-5. So the 1-3 is G and D, and the 4-5 is E flat and G. And you're just doing this. Like this. So you'll see the rate of that. And this really high note here, that's a B flat, which you'll have to hit over the right hand. This here is just an inversion of those notes. So the top note here is E flat. Below that was B flat here. It'll just be E flat and B flat on top. So it's just this. Let's see. Wait. Okay. So you'll see that in the overhead demonstration. Okay, so all this is just this. You'll get faster as you get more comfortable, and the left hand is just this. And together, remember it's 4 notes for every 1/8 note in the left hand, so. So if I add this from over here. Make sense? Okay. And finally, for the next part, which starts here and we're gonna end here, I'll tell you why this is easy. It's easy because you're kind of just playing the same thing over and over and over. What makes it difficult is because it's fast. You kind of have to have some good aim. You have to, you know, move quickly and hope that you're gonna land in the right place. I find that sometimes what can be tricky is on the way down, landing your pinky quickly on, you know, that note. And then that note. And then going up seems a little easier. So it's basically this. And then at the end, okay, the left hand, you're just playing the same two things, and you have to use, for all of them, you have to use 2-5, because if you use thumb and something else, the hand is going to take on a different shape, and it could end up being in the way of the right hand. 2-5 is a good fingering because you can poke the notes and arch the hand and be out of the way of the right hand. Does that make sense? So keep using 2-5 for all of these. And all it is this, just octave differences. And then eventually it's gonna be D flat on the bottom, and then this again. So you'll see that, what I'm talking about right here. But yeah, the fingering is just same fingering, same notes, same fingering. Okay, so for this next part, luckily when you're coming from this part, you're already gonna kind of be where you need to be, so you don't have to find this. You'll already be where you need to be. So the right hand is this. The left hand. Maybe I added an extra one. Make sure the last one is this, and then the same thing. So we have this. So, and then with some pedal. Sorry. If I'm coming from the previous part, it's this. From the beginning of this new section, it's this. I'll do it slowly for now. Okay, so have fun with this. It's not too difficult to learn. It's just, you know, it can be a little tricky. The arpeggios are tricky, but they're repetitive. So you're really kind of gonna have lots of practice on them. All right, so good luck with this, and just keep adding it to what you already have.